Dylan Edwards and, of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to another edition of Ermanni and Edwards on Wednesday. But you know it's Wednesday, so you know who's in the building. It is the main man, Anson Wells, my guy. What's up, man?
You know, I was spending some time this last few days watching how Lions fans have been reacting. And I got one message of love from a Woodward follower, Shannon, down in Tennessee. She's right in the thick of all the hurricane stuff, but she's a huge Lions fan, big supporter of the show, and had to give some love and a shout out to her and her special needs granddaughter, who is an absolute princess.
Oh, we appreciate that, man. Shout out to you during the holiday season. Anson Wells, you do it no one else. Tom Mazaway, welcome you in on a beautiful Wednesday. How are you? Feel a little gloomy outside, but you know the weather's holding up. At least I can say that.
It's all good, man. It's enjoyable. Let's get a Wednesday going. I think the Lions got a little bit of good news from today's press conference with Dan Campbell, and we'll share it with you guys soon.
I
we
like
will
that.
get into that. Welcoming in KG as well as P Spivey. P, how you doing? I see the hat, man.
What's going on?
You're getting ready.
What's going on?
You're getting ready. You're getting in the spirit.
You got my Planet Fitness hat on.
Now, Pete, on a typical, ball drop, December 31st, what are your plans? What do you do? How do you bring in the new year, Pete Spivak style?
Well, this one's going to be a little interesting because I'm turning 50 on December 28th, and I won't be here. So
where will you be at?
I don't know. I'm either going to be in Pennsylvania. I know this sounds weird. My long-lost cousin who I've never met, I might either be in Pennsylvania on her farm, just hanging out.
You got to watch out on those farms. There's people you never met.
Big risk, bro.
A wild boar
comes
comes
here
after you.
partying, and maybe we'll see where Bray is on New Year's Eve. You never know.
100%. I'll be here, man. But if you don't have any plans, take it to Vegas.
Maybe I should.
Why not do Vegas?
Well, money's a problem, but maybe I could take it to Vegas. Why not?
You got that crypto, Pete. You're all right.
You keep winning these
Make a
bets
withdrawal.
on Caesars, man. You sure should have a little cash stashed over.
You got
Well,
a new
I spend
car.
it on Christmas gifts, my
This is
friend.
true.
Why don't you just
shout
drive
out
to New
you.
York?
Shout out to you, my man
you go.
KG in the
I'll go
booth.
see
Everything
Sammy.
good with you?
Yeah, man, can't complain. Having a semi-decent week, so.
Okay, yeah, I understand, man. Hey, also, anybody else out
We
there?
didn't say hi to
that's,
Maria.
You said what? Oh, my
Maria.
apologies. I'm so sorry.
I was waiting for
Our
that.
new intern, a.k.a. Maria, who's finished the show yesterday for us. Maria, how's your day going?
It's going.
Okay, you learned anything from Pete Spivak? Hey, and don't feel bad if it takes you a second to catch on, because it took you a very long time to figure things out.
Not that much yet, though.
Nah, we're just joking. Well, you got one of the best doing it, man. So, Pete, when is she taking over the show for you today?
She's going to be taking over in the last 3-4 minutes.
Okay.
That'll be the easier time for her.
She
All right.
We're not
Don't
gonna-
give her too much time, Pete, because people are going to start seeing Maria more than you. Okay?
They
I'm just
already
saying.
do.
Here, let's go.
They
I'm
already
just
do.
Where's that glitter
Say.
coming from, Pete?
It's the
I got
hat.
rid of the glitter from that.
Oh, okay.
It's the
Gotcha.
the 2025 hat. But I
He's
appreciate
ready
you,
for New
viewers.
Year's.
Welcome in the viewers. Another good day. Thanks for tuning in to us. Yesterday, me and KG gave you some bad information, some bad advice. We were on the OKC wagon. We said they're the best defense in the league, at least in all categories of the league. SGA seems like this is the year he's gonna win MVP. J-Dub has come into his own doors. The whole spiel. Well, the game wasn't even close. Giannis and Dame Lillard, they figured it out. The Bucks win the in-season cup, sponsored by Emirates. I think the final score was 97-81. Big OKC guy sitting to my left, so I'm glad he's in the studio. There it is. There's the graphic.
Took a while.
97-81, 16-point lead, and Giannis was unstoppable in the game yet again. 18
MVP.
rebounds, 37 points. I think he had 11 assists.
Rebounds.
18 rebounds, 37 points, and what do you have?
No,
and
he
10
had,
assists.
he had 26, 19, and 10.
That was way up.
Yeah.
I was looking at another stat that I'm going to throw out
Yeah.
there, but seems like he and Dame, this is now 11 for 12 in terms of games in a row. They won 11 out of 10. Well, 11. Yesterday was 12. They're 12-1 in the last 13 games now. Seems like they got the pick and roll. But before we get to Dame and Giannis, OKC. OKC is the new wave. SGA leading last year. I think he finished second in MVP.
Shouldn't have.
So 100%. He should have won
He
last year.
defends.
But he's come right back this year. He's leading a team that seems like they know how to win. We think this was a team that was going to win the cup. They don't win the cup. Should there be cause for concern just because they're a young team? Not that they lost. It's early in the year. It's still December. But in terms of them winning the whole thing, because of their being young, this was a moment where they had a chance to beat a team that's won in the Bucks and Giannis, Dame Lillard, one of the superstars in the league, and they fall short. Is this cause for concern from you, or is this just December?
Well, this is a taste of what will probably befall the Thunder come June, okay? If you've been watching the NBA at any point in your life, great teams go through a learning period, and that typically it comes in a quick 7-game series in the finals, okay? This team, as you said, the best defensive team in the league. Giannis and Dame were hot.
Yeah.
They still were held under 100 points. This game, to me, it was
Good point.
Was a situation where you watch a team that's recently won a championship, who understands what it is to win a playoff series. This was a playoff game last night, and OKC wasn't quite ready for that. They shot themselves out of this game. They clearly played defense to be able to win, but I think they were 1 for 13 on their first 13 threes attempted.
Yeah, they didn't look good early, but...
Well, and this is a team that can beat you up inside, that can take you to the free throw stripe and win it at the charity line. They don't have that experience, and it was clearly on display. This is a game that they could have and should have won if they knew how to come in. What you're probably going to see is them maybe get the home court advantage and lose a game at home out of those first two to Boston, and that will really sink them. And then they'll get that experience as they lose in Game 6 or Game 7. This is a team that is purely on their way without probably their second best player, and that hurts me to say because I love me some J-Dub. But when you look at this team, and KG and I were talking about this over the weekend, listen, you got 3 guys drafted number 24 or later this season who have played every game this year. The foreign kid from Eastern Europe, I forget his name, pick number 10, 11, or 12, he's not even going to be on the roster at all this season. They're letting him season himself for a year. You look at their future capital, this team might have 4 first-round picks this coming year, depending on how the teams finish, because some of those are obviously protected. They are so deep, and they have so much future capital. This team obviously needs a pure outside shooter. As good as they are outside, they don't have that guy that you totally fear. Caruso's a guy that gets to lose balls and can...
What's Chet's timeline? Anson, not to cut you off.
Chet's timeline is not looking great. You're looking probably post All-Star break.
Okay.
And so that's a good thing for these guys, because you look at it, and we talked about this, and this isn't a race thing, but there are 2 white guys out there that are huge and small, but then there's another 10 guys that it's hard to tell them apart because of how they're built, their athleticism, and how they play. They're so rangy, so long, so athletic, and so determined out there. And then you lose a guy like Chet, and Isaiah Hutchinson comes in, and you basically don't lose a beat. Playing without Chet is going to be the best gift that OKC can get. And if they can get him back, ease him in, and he can stay healthy with those toothpicks he runs around on, I don't care how little experience they have. They are good enough to shock the Celtics. But you and I, Bray, we've talked about it many times. The NBA is a learn as you go, grow as you learn league. And I think that 2026 is when they'll be hosting that Larry O'Brien trophy. But I will put money on a Boston OKC final.
Yeah, Boston and OKC are 2 of the teams that are kind of moving in a new direction for the NBA. Not only can they shoot the 3, not only are they very offensively explosive at times, they also play lockdown defense. KG, you watched the same game last night. Where are you with OKC potentially winning it all or even getting to the final dance against the Celtics?
I just don't think they're ready yet, and I love the makeup of their team. I love where their future is headed. They're well coached. I mean, Sam Presti, talk about war chesting, all the damn first-round picks he's able to get. It's crazy. The Pistons have had all this bad luck, and they've just had everything in terms of drafting, but they don't have a dominant shooter. Isaiah Joe, he's cool, but he's not going to knock down shots at a consistent clip. Luguentz Dort, a good two-way player, but just not consistent from 3. So, I mean, until they get a dominant shooter and, like you said, get Chet back in the fold and start working him in, I don't think they're ready yet, but the future is bright. They are the future of the Western Conference.
I definitely agree with that. The one thing I will say about them in terms of experience, you can see they don't know how to turn the fountain off when it's not working. working. And that's one thing about not being
100%.
experienced. You look at a team like Boston. If that three ball is not falling, they know how to switch. So we got to get to the lane, we got to get to the cup, and get some fouls, get to that penalty stripe. So that's something that they can get a help in. But they're still young, to your point, and it still is, Anson, like you said, December. Maz, I want to ask you the last question about the game, and it's about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Seems like he won not the national championship. Seems like ever since he's won the NBA title, he's put up the numbers, but they just can't get back to that spot. And now it seems like he was going backwards, even though his numbers are still great. If you look at what he's done each year, he's going up in point totals. This year, 32, 11, 5, and 6. He's having a hell of a year. Can Giannis get this team back to where they were in the finals and supplanting maybe the Celtics with the help of Dame and Doc Rivers as a coach?
They got the talent. I don't know if they have the coaching. Doc Rivers, he's gotten there once, I guess, and taking it off the sheet. Boston and the New York Knicks, I think, are going to be too tough for him at the end. But the guy plays with a smile on his face, and when he wants to play, he shows out. Last night to him was like a playoff game, like a championship game.
And he showed up like it.
Although it means nothing because neither team got a win or a loss on this game. They did pick up $515,000 apiece for the winning team. The losers got, I think, $300,000 each. So they all made some money last night. So let's go. They hand out the checks last night. Let's say you guys are on the Bucks. They hand you a $515,000 check. What are you doing with that check?
Escrow.
No, we talking about the NBA, what those guys doing? That's going towards the chains. It's going to a car. It's going to some random Christmas gift.
That's what I'm asking you.
That 100%. Like, oh, what would I do with it?
Yeah.
At that age or now?
Yeah. No, at that age.
515.
You just
extra.
got You just got $515,000 just given to you.
What's the latest hybrid truck? Like the foreign hybrid truck? Like, is it a Rolls? Is it a Phantom? Like, is it a Bentley? No, I'm saying this would be my thoughts. Yeah. What's the hottest on the market? Is this some new form? Right. The Lambo truck or the Ferrari that's assumed to come out? You waste it on a gift for yourself, or if you're dating or married, you trick on you know what.
XRP, baby.
Right.
Buy an XRP.
Yeah, XRP and
a really high-end J-Dub, autograph rookie. But no, I'm getting my mom a new well. I'm getting a new roof.
But
the rest is going to XRP.
But see, that's what I was saying. Like, is it now or is it then? Because if it's then, you've already got your mama house. Like, you don't have to buy your mama house.
It's the same house. She's been in it too long.
Right.
We need a well. So if the well was needed then, I would have gotten it. I probably wouldn't have put it in XRP because that didn't exist back then.
Yeah, right.
But I'm just going to say if I was a responsible 24-year-old.
No.
I'm going to Vegas, man. You coming with me. Let's go. KG, come on.
100%. See, that's the answer you want. Because at 24 when we was doing, that's what you do.
I'm going to Vegas, dog.
You're turning $500 into $2 million.
100%. Yeah.
No. 100%. I won the life lottery just like you did, my friend.
Appreciate
I am
that.
not gambling that money.
Well, they will.
Thank you.
Maz, you remember when that song "Make It Rain" was out?
Yeah.
Like Lil Wayne strip club song "Make It Rain." Well, it wasn't at first, but then it became the anthem, if you will.
The dollars?
I make it rain.
100%, just like that. So you're talking about 2007 All-Star Game was in Vegas. I go out. This is my first time in Vegas, actually, like gambling, if you will.
Scary.
Go there. I was up 150,000.
No way.
In literally less than 24 hours.
And what did you finish with?
110, but I was. I
you
got
walked?
I got up to 230.
Yeah, but you still walked up six figures.
But here's the crazy. When I lost the bulk of that 230? 6 hours before my flight.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Because I was at this time, I'm probably down to about one blackjack.
You'd have been better off.
I was like 190, and I'm like, all right, cool. 190. I got 6 hours. I can turn this 190.
How much a hand?
It depends.
It depends because whatever the max was, right?
No, as little as you can move the max.
Yeah.
You can move the houses in place. You can move the max. Yeah. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? If you hit a run, 10,000 a hand. If you don't hit a run, here's 1,000.
Are you playing with other people, or was you playing at the table
by myself?
Ain't no one sitting
by
on
myself,
that table
3 hands.
Right.
That is called NFL money right there.
I don't want you sitting down at my table messing my flow up.
Right. No, they get
Split
mad.
sevens.
What
year was that?
Mess up, they get mad.
What year was that?
2007. 2007.
Man,
I've also been on the other side. When you don't go home with any money.
That's my question for you guys. Do you have an experience in Vegas just crushed you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was Atlantic City.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, when I was a kid. I went there as an 18-year-old kid with my parents, my uncle, and my aunt. And we went to Harris in Atlantic City. And I knew how to play craps. So my dad and my uncle, I played right in between them. And I wound up getting, I made about almost $3,000.
Man,
And then I pissed some of it away. I got out of there with about $2,300. The next day, I bought myself a '74 Coupe de Ville.
Okay.
And I paid for the insurance.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Is that great?
Hell yeah,
I
that's
thought we
great.
were talking about bad stories.
experience.
Yeah, but then I kept going back.
They got the hook in you.
So then they had to come repossess.
I
the
never
Coupe
won
de Ville.
again.
Man, first time I went to Vegas,
Let's get the keys.
we had
Let's
like
get
a
the
group
keys
of 10 guys, and
Yeah.
2 guys went early, about 9 hours,
Yeah.
and we get there at like 1 o'clock, and we can't find them. We go to their room, all the shades are drawn. Lights are off. They're both laying in bed just like near tears. They had to call their parents and have them send them because they had spent all their vacation money and lost it in the first 8 hours. But I had this guy who was like, oh, yeah, there's an unbeatable roulette technique. You wait until 4 black or 4 red hit, then you put down 20 on the other op, and then you just keep doubling
I'ma
it
tell you.
until you win. So I'm like, all right, let's
He
play.
worked for the casino.
And I am,
He definitely worked
I
for the
am
casino.
not a gambler, man, as I
Yeah.
said before. But
Shocking.
so I'm like, all right, so 4 red hit, I'm going black. And that damn green pops up in there, which just basically resets
Yeah.
everything.
Zero, baby.
Well, I had $1,600 on the table to win $20 back. And I mean, at 22, I looked like I was about 14.
Oh, geez.
So the whole thing, they're all looking at me.
Yeah.
You could see these adults like, this poor kid. He's about to get his first taste of Vegas. But I did hit to make $20 back.
Oh, my
I have
God.
never gambled again at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Hey.
put $25 on
That doesn't
the
count.
betting with sports and stuff this year, just so I had something to talk about with you guys. But no, I'm so thankful that I got that, because I would have been up in that same room with the lights off and the shades drawn, crying myself till my parents bought me a flight home.
I'm sure our chat's got many stories.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
tell us your stories in the chat. KG, Young Jeezy had a line about my worst ever. He was like, last night he blew the house, 100%. Funniest thing ever, and we'll get into some Detroit Lions because we do have some news for you, like we teased, and also Dan Miller as early as 2:30, maybe 3. So we'll get to some Lions stuff. But I was in Vegas. I was at the Win, and this is maybe 2010. Best friend and manager Hayes Groom. Shout out to Hayes. Hayes works with Peloton. I know you know Hayes. I know you know Hayes.
Yes.
Hayes doing big things too, man. He's worked with Peloton. He's worked with
Nice.
Masterclass. Helped
Good man.
start
He's a
Masterclass,
good man.
if you will. But he was my manager. He's my guy, power of attorney, if you will. Braylon's on one. You know, I can help him out. I can make the call, sign the credit card, do what I got to do.
Right.
Don't you know what the odds are on craps? Don't you know what the odds are on
they're
snake? Not snake eyes, but 12 crap.
No.
Yeah,
36 to
30 to 1. 30 to 1.
30 to 1. That's what the odds are. But you only get one roll. It's a
That's
one roll
One roll
out.
bet.
Don't you know we're on the way to the club? We've already been having a good time. We're in the room. We're pre-gaming. Y'all know what that means. Shout out to 1800. You know what I'm saying? So I dropped 2 $10,000 chips on 12 and keep walking. I'm like, I guarantee it's going to hit.
Stop it.
Don't you know he picked both those chips up, which is illegal.
Right. What?
Which is illegal. He picked both chips up.
What the fuck?
And then it was this big dispute because I'm arguing. It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry.
Because I'm arguing now on the side of, yo, you pick my money up, so it's illegal. Even though I'm not mad at him, I'm like, it's illegal, so y'all can't allow him to pick the money up. They're saying, well, he was with you. He picked the money up. That's on your man. It was It was a big deal.
What would you have hit for it?
Shoot, 20,000, 31.
10,
Shit.
300,
Yeah,
300 grand.
300, yeah.
It's a trailer.
Like I'm
Trailer
talking
money.
to this day. I'm not over it
You did not
because I don't know who to be mad at.
Why did he pick it up?
Because when you don't have that money to spend like that, and you see your boy spending money like that, it's a lookout.
Yeah.
It's all he done had a couple drinks. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to lose the 10,000 to 20,000. So to this day, we're still boys. You know what I'm saying? No harm, no foul. Let's get into the Detroit Lions. We teased it. A player that we thought was done for the season, he may not be. Talking about Dave Montgomery. Here's the news that came out from. You go ahead. Here's the news came from Detroit Lions.
David's getting another
Oh, yeah.
opinion, so he's had a couple, and really, just see what this third one says, So that's why we have not put him on injured reserve. We're in waiting mode here. Yeah, you have to. You have to. And, it is one of these injuries that's unique because, you need to know, is it stable? Okay, is it fixed or will it scar? And then be, certainly stable for now and for later, and then you got to rely on him. Like, hey, man, I'm good. I can do this. And so it's a combination certainly of the doctors, but him as well, where he thinks he can go with it and can he protect himself and play at a high level. And so we're in a holding pattern, which is, as of right now, that's a positive.
And this from the Detroit Lions, you can put that up there as well, Pete. Bring that up there is what the Detroit Lions had to say officially about it. This is all the roster moves down there in Allen Park. They placed Carlton Davis, cornerback Khalil Dorsey, as well as defensive lineman Aleem McNeil on reserve injury list. They signed linebacker and Anthony Pittman. Dan Campbell talked about him.
He used to be here.
100%. Dan Campbell talked about he knows the system. He knows how to play here, so this would be good as well. And they released Isaiah Thomas from the practice squad, as well as CB, Stanley Thompson Oliver from the practice squad.
There are too many Isaiah Thomases that are not Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, but he's the only one that spells his.
That's right.
That way. You know who always reminds
spelling.
us?
Non-biblical
Tom
spelling.
Mazaway and Ryan Ermanni. But that's good news. And this is, I know you guys had Dr. Pierce on Monday, and he said, you would get a third look because it is an MCL. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I know a little bit about MCL. I tore my ACL, I tore my meniscus. When it's an MCL, it's 1,000% stability. It's all being able to stabilize it, being able to make sure you feel comfortable, and limited movement with it. So this is good for the Lions.
What kind of brace or what do they do to keep that?
Don Joy?
If they want to keep them playing.
Yeah, the Don Joy, they basically make it specially fit for your knee. They take your measurements. They literally measure you up, get it, and they put it specially for your knee. Like, once they make a knee brace, that knee brace is not for anyone else. It fits your knee. It fits your mold, and it provides you stability. Like, when you move with no brace, your knee is going to go further than it's supposed to because it's loose, because there's a tear. But when you have that brace on it, it keeps you exactly where you're supposed to be. Wow. It won't let you go outside that realm. But like they said, you got to trust Dave Montgomery as well, because it's only as how good are you? How do you feel? You got to tell us what you really feel. Yeah, it's like a situation kind of like Friday Night Lights where Boobie goes out there and you're like, oh, yeah, Boobie can still play. Boobie went to the left and he couldn't play. But Boobie knew that he couldn't play, and he went out there and lied. So how good is David Montgomery? It depends on him. He's got to be 100% honest. You like that You like the reference?
I did.
You like the reference a little bit.
Don't want to see no Boobie Miles listening.
No, he was Boobie tore his own knee up.
He did.
Yeah.
He
tore everything.
Boobie knew better.
I say if he could play and he feels that he could play, and the doctors tell him you're not going to further injure your knee for the future, I'm playing him. I'm not going to play him every other set of downs like they do. Yeah. But I'm going to use him, and I'm going to keep him in there to keep that other team on their toes. And I'm going to still use Craig Reynolds, and I'm going to use Sione Vaki.
Let's see him.
Every time we say Sione Vaki, we always give you credit, Anson, just so you know.
It's true.
There are other guys on this team, but if you could have David Montgomery still suit up, maybe not this week, for sure, sit out this week. Maybe not against San Francisco even. But maybe against the Minnesota Vikings if you need that game. And for sure when you're in the playoffs, and hopefully they have the number one seed so they get that extra week off. I would keep him. I would keep him, man. I would not put him on IR, and I would just let him rehab that thing. Do not cut it open yet, and let's see what happens. Get that secret sauce. Go to Dr. Pierce.
KG, here's a good question I want to ask you. And this came up about another team today. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes. He sustained another high ankle injury. Him and these high ankles, man. I feel like over the last 3 years.
He's got a bad ankle.
It's like kind of like Steph.
Yeah.
Some people just have bad ankles. He seems to be one, so I hope he gets healthy. But it's a decision that they're thinking about. Should they rest Patrick Mahomes? They got an easier game coming up. I think they play the Texans, and then they play the Steelers on Christmas. They've proven that they can win in the postseason, so resting him, all right, you rest him, he gets healthy, you'll be okay in the postseason. With Monty, it's a different thing for the Lions, I think. You're resting a guy that can potentially help you. If they have some stability with this knee brace, if they allow him to shot, and then David feels good to play, do you rest him against Minnesota, or do you play him against Minnesota to try to ensure that number one seed?
That's tough.
Yeah, I know. It's a real deal.
Because with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they don't have the luxury of having the Vikings on their tail, so they can rest players. But I would say yes, but just very, very limited snaps. Like you don't want to overwork him with an injury like that because they have invested money into him. They've re-signed him for a longer term. He'll be here through 2027. So you do have to worry about the long-term aspect of this because they use Monty in ways to help set up this offense. I've often said that he's the most important back to what they want to do as far as establishing the ground game and the line of scrimmage. And then Gibbs comes in and just shows off his amazing speed. But I think I would, but just very limited snaps. Like you said, get Sione Vaki involved, get Craig Reynolds involved, and of course Gibbs is going to have to carry a little more of that mantle going forward. But use Monty on the goal line. That's what he does best, getting in the end zone. It's not a
short
ton
yardage goals.
It's not a ton of wear and tear you put on him if you put him in those situations. I think that's the move to go.
So I'm kind of on board with you guys here, but I see 3 games left on the regular season slate. Assuming that we are able to hold on to the number 1 seed, that 4th week, the first week of the playoffs, Bray, this question's for you real quick. Would that satisfy the 4 weeks of IR? If assuming we don't play in week 1, does that count as a 4th week, even though we don't have a game?
Yeah, it would count.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a week period.
Okay, so my thing is, but it doesn't count for a bye week.
No.
Okay, so my thing is you got 4 weeks, put them on IR, get some help, and you don't bring them back until the 2nd week of the playoffs. Because I think that between Sione Vaki, between Netflix, between this stud that we have in Jahmyr Gibbs, you're also going to see a lot more work going towards Laporta, which we saw on Sunday. You might even give him a carry or two, maybe even on the goal line. Yep. You might get creative with some of the big guys, like a Pitney Sewell taking a goal line touch. I want Monty back because of the mojo and leadership he brings to this offensive unit.
That part.
As good as he is with the ball, receiving on the goal line and in every other facet of the game, if you bring him back early and you lose him, not only is it a blow to the weapons you have, but it's also a blow to the psyche of this offense. Yeah. Bring him back in time, not too quickly. Give yourself 4 weeks with another guy that you can maybe see if he fits and otherwise get rid of him. But it gives you a full 53. It gives you an opportunity to give him a full month to get right. And then, even so, who knows who we'll see in that second round of the playoffs. They might even choose to sit him in next week if he's close but not quite there. I don't want to see him against Minnesota or any earlier than that.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think the Lions are going to be what they are. I think they still could get a chance to win number 1 seed. Hell, and if they don't, Maz talked about it yesterday, you feel comfortable going on the road. You want to be home. Let's not make that mistake.
Want the week off, mainly.
100%.
Yes.
That week off, that 4 weeks in total, him being right for that playoff run with the ultimate goal is to get to New Orleans and host the trophy for sure. But that boost of energy that he provides, you're absolutely right. Look at the Chiefs. When they got their guy back, Isaiah Pacheco, he's the spark plug on the offense. Yeah. Now,
hasn't looked great, but it's just that glue.
It's seeing him in the huddle, seeing his numbers, same thing 100%. Like Maz. You know who the defense misses, who they hopefully can get back? It's Baby Thor. It's Alex Anzalone. When you get that influx of energy, you're like, oh, okay, we got our guy back. You see him calling plays, it's a little bit different. So I definitely agree with that. Maz, keep me posted on the timeline for that. Let's do this.
How bad did we miss Baby Thor on Sunday?
Man, we still miss him, you know what I'm saying? But you know what you don't want to miss? That's the gym, because your fitness is essential. And at Planet Fitness, we want you to work out 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, so they're all over the place for you. Squeaky clean gym, check. Training with every workout, that is a check. And also, it's fitness that fits into your budget. So don't miss a chance to get in shape at Planet Fitness.
And listen, if you plan on a bum me, you might need something to take the edge off, man. So we got it for you. 1800 Tequila, the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every single Lions game this Sunday. We are live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, and we are feasting on beer, but also drinking smooth 1800 Tequila. Proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila. It's the best taste in tequila, and please, y'all, drink responsibly.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? From Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts are here to help. Mark White and his team are going to offer you and pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, $5,000 right off the top. Call Mark White and Associates today, 248-290-8242. Check them out online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, that number, Mark White, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Christmas is right around the corner. You got to look good for the fam, all right? So get yourself into a Lady Jane's. They are all over Metro Detroit. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are completely welcome. You got a $20 haircut special. Scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment are all included. So just come on in, sit back, relax, and let one of the amazingly talented hairstylists of Lady Jane's get you looking right for the holidays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Speaking of Christmas, and welcome back to the show. Speaking of Christmas, which the holiday season is here, that means Christmas movies. Everybody gets excited in October because you know that December is right around the corner. We start watching Christmas movies probably after Thanksgiving. But is it more exciting for the idea of watching Christmas movies as you get older, or are people actually still watching the Christmas movie?
I like where you're going with that.
You see what I'm saying?
It is. It's like you get excited about the whole thing.
Let me make it make sense before you go, Anson.
It makes perfect sense.
It's Thanksgiving. It's 26, first Christmas movie in the books. I'm at 6, and it's December, 18th? I've only watched 6 in the span of 24 days. So am I excited for the holiday season, or am I really want to watch the movies?
It's both.
It is?
And you know, when you get excited about it, you kind of feel a little silly, but a little young at the same time. But once you start that movie, you just get lost, and you feel 13 again, or however old you were watching it. It's great. Every Christmas Eve, I have A Christmas Story on all day, on repeat, while I'm wrapping presents. That red one just came out. I haven't watched that yet.
It was out there.
Yeah. Was it?
The Rock, look, man, Dwayne Johnson, and you know me, I was The Rock's I was his agent, man. Like 2 years ago, he didn't do no wrong. And maybe even earlier this year when he came back and played the final boss on WrestleMania. But like his acting has gotten worse. It's subsided and it's gone back to walking tall.
He is no John Cena.
No, he's not.
John Cena.
The Rock created the mold.
Right. Sure, but John Cena has.
Excuse me? You mean Arnold?
Well, we're talking about WWE.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to your point,
Well,
as the
Hulk
big guy,
really did. Hulk did with
no, it was
Rocky
Arnold.
3.
It was Arnold. Arnold did twins.
Yeah.
But
Arnold
I'm
did
talking
twins.
WWF wrestlers that went mainstream.
Hogan was horrible. Hogan was trash.
He was
Well,
trash.
he was.
No holds barred.
Wait a second. He was amazing in Rocky 3.
You guys are forgetting something.
Thunderlips, yeah.
Yeah, he was amazing. So I guess my question is do you have a couple of new movies? Because one I dropped last year on you guys is 8-Bit Christmas, which
8-Bit is good.
Yeah, really like that.
Good.
Depending on your generation you came up in. Have you guys caught anything new in the last couple of years that you like?
I just saw one on Netflix the other day. It was an action movie. It's like it's got Jason Bateman in it. And
It's called Carry On. I watched it last night.
Carry On. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It takes place on Christmas Eve.
It's like a Die Hard Christmas movie.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so is Tower Inferno.
Carry On's pretty
So
good.
is Tower
It was
Inferno.
good.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed it. He just kept it. He kept going. I don't want to spoil the movie. Taylor Edgerton. It was all right. It was pretty
Pete,
good.
what movie did you say?
Towering Inferno is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, never
OJ was in there.
heard of
No,
that
I
one.
agree with you, man.
That's why
Towering Inferno.
that predates me.
Please explain a little
Charlton
bit.
Heston.
That's
prior to
what
Die
it
Hard.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Disaster movies. And then I love the Mr. Bean. I was a big fan of Mr. Bean growing up. So the Mr. Bean Christmas episodes I like to watch.
100%.
Listen, man. You're not watching those Christmas movies that are like the fake Christmas movies, the ones that they put on.
I don't watch those Hallmark movies.
That's what I mean. My
No,
daughters,
you don't
my
watch
daughters
that.
are watching.
Lifetime.
They're watching 2 a
I'm
day.
watching classics.
They're watching.
I'm watching classics. When I say classics, I'm talking National Lampoon's
Correct.
Christmas
I got
Vacation.
that down already. This year.
100%.
Keep going.
Jingle, but like Jingle all the way.
How
Like
about
if you want
Elf?
to get 96. Elf, watched it
Elf
already.
is
That's the
strong.
first Christmas movie,
Exactly.
buddy.
Francisco.
And then
Santa.
Home
I know
Alone.
him.
Right.
Like, come on,
Home
man.
Alone. You got to watch Home
and
Alone.
That
two.
was classic.
Miracle on
One
54th
is the
Street.
best, but 2 I identify with more.
Right, Pete. Miracle on
Yeah.
34th Street
34th
is
Street,
classic.
100%.
Just a
Always
classic.
say
Little
Scrooge.
Natalie Wood in that movie.
Scrooge, Bill Murray.
That was okay.
Yeah, Scrooge.
I
I
love
like
it, yeah.
Scrooge.
That's a
I
good
got
one.
dark sense of
I don't
humor.
go out
so
of
I
my
like
way
it.
for that one.
Right,
Okay, I
Charlie
can
Brown
understand
Christmas
that.
special or Claymation Christmas special?
Charlie Brown.
Claymation.
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 All day.
I do
And I love
Charlie
Charlie Brown, but
Rudolph, and Frosty, and Santa Claus is coming. to
Frosty had the abominable snowman, right?
town. No.
Yep.
No.
Yes.
Bumble
No,
was in
that's
Rudolph.
Bumble.
Rudolph, 100%.
I thought they were all the same. To be
They're in,
honest.
they're in the same universe.
Do you
Yeah.
think kids these days could even handle that
No.
Claymation
No.
Christmas
No.
show?
Because I can't anymore.
My kids can't watch.
Right now.
My
It's
kids
kinda
can't watch
creepy.
Rudolph and Frosty. They're bored out of their skull.
Oh,
I
I
get
meant
it.
like out of fear because it's kind of a creepy show.
Well, sticking with
J.B.
the
Smoove,
Christmas cheer, there's somebody for the Detroit Lions that makes a promise that he will be back for Super Bowl. Check this out.
I'm on track for my goal of returning for the Super Bowl. And so I keep telling all the boys when I see him in the facility, I'm like, you guys just got to get there. And I promise you, I'm going to be back, you know? And I tell people that. My mom was like, I remember we were talking yesterday and she's like, but Aiden, like what if you don't get back? Like what if you can't? And I was like, there's no other way.
Now, obviously, it'd be a delayed Christmas gift, but it'd be a damn good Christmas gift nonetheless. When this first was talked about, I think a lot of us were on the side of, hey, look, man, we don't want to ruin the future because we know what 97 means for the future of the Detroit Lions, especially on defense. But you start to look, and you start to look at the time clock, and you start to see that he's ahead, and you looked at when he was injured, how long ago it is versus where he is now, and you see the movement. Is there a universe where you can see Aiden Hutchinson actually delivering on this promise to these fans and to his mom that he'll be playing in the Super Bowl?
The best
If they made
medicine is a positive mindset.
Yeah.
And this guy having said that's the way,
Yep.
this is the way. I mean,
How do
I know
go
you guys.
against
You guys are all shocked because I like him because he was once a Wolverine, always a Wolverine. I know.
Your favorite player is Wolverine now.
In college, yes, this is true.
yeah.
Charles Woodson, but this guy has never disappointed. His mental makeup is as strong as any player I've ever seen come to Detroit. I mean, the guy finished a sack while his leg is in half. So I worry that he could push
pieces, you mean?
Yeah,
Was in three
I
pieces.
worry that he could push himself too much and that something truly terrible could happen if he does rush himself back. But this is a season of destiny for the Lions, and that kid's not going to miss out on it.
Man, it's cap or no cap. There's a chance that Aiden Hutchinson can make it back for the Super Bowl.
No cap.
Yeah.
I believe in him. And I don't care if he just suits up and doesn't play.
That's true.
Right? As long as he's there with the team, working out, getting that leg, gets atrophy, right? I mean, he had skinny legs to begin with. If you see those State Farm commercials, he's doing the ballet. You can see no wonder he broke his leg. Those legs are like toothpicks.
He won't have that problem this time around.
He's got to beef those legs up, man. But I got nothing but positivity for this team, for this guy, and for this city. This is our year. I don't care anything that's thrown our way. I really believe it.
Hey, Bray, I got something to help out your subject matter here.
Ooh.
I love when Maz says no
100%.
cap.
So this is actually one of the ones
when
for last year.
When you say no cap, I just love hearing him say that.
This is one of the no caps for last week. Time Maz away. It was Aiden Hutchinson will play in the Super Bowl. Now it's bringing back after we have some sound.
Let's do it.
Glad you waited a week.
Bone heals faster than ligaments. I tore my ACL. It took me 7 months to get back. I was actually running 3 months. I'm full speed running straight ahead. 4 months. I'm starting to plan a little bit, but super light. And that was ligaments. You're talking about bone heals, and then you just grow the muscle back.
He's got titanium in there, doesn't he?
He does. Mm-hmm. So I mean, in a crazy world, I could see him suiting up for the Super Bowl, like you said. Now playing will be a different thing, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility like I once thought it was, KG.
No, I'm the same way, and I'm starting to come around because I was on the side of just let the man
future
rest.
right?
Yeah, let's worry about the future. The window is open for the Detroit Lions, so you got to think ahead a little bit. But would I want him to come back? Absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't want Hutch to come back? But the motor that this guy has, not just on the field but off the field, his determination to get back, I don't put anything outside of him coming back. I don't.
Yeah, you talking about? Are you about to say something, man? Go ahead if you had something.
I'm only going to say cap because I believe that, on KG's words, this regime knows what he means to this team.
Right. Yeah.
I think he will be in uniform on the sideline in Las Vegas. Honestly, though. What's that?
In New Orleans.
I was going to say New Orleans, too, and I said Vegas. That was last year. This is a guy that's just too important. I mean, realistically, is there a more important guy on this team not named Jared Goff? There isn't. And I just don't see them risking that. He's going to really have to impress them during that off week for the Pro Bowl for him to be able to get on that field. He'll be in Honolulu Blue. I don't see him playing.
Side note, Dante151, is he in the chat today like he is every day?
Yeah, he was this morning. He was.
Oh, this morning he was? All right, well, if he's in the chat right now, look, we're going to let you get a question in at the end of the show. Since all your loyalty, recognize your name every day, Dante151. Appreciate your support. Want you to ask a question that you want to have answered, we'll answer it, and we'll talk a segment a little bit about it towards the end of the show. But we'll start doing this a little bit more often, and we'll come up with a more conducive way. Maybe Maz will pick, out of a bunch of topics that you guys send in. We'll talk about whatever topic wins at the end of the show. We want to make you guys feel more a part of the show.
Love that.
But Dante151, he definitely is the first winner, if you will, just because of his loyal support. And I hear his name every single day throughout the show. So we appreciate your loyalty.
He tweets at me as well. Tweets at us.
He's a true family member of Woodward Sports.
He's in our Woo Crew Fantasy League. He's one of the participants.
Oh, see? He's more part of WSC than I am. I got to get on my stuff. I got to get on my stuff. But somebody that's going to have to get on this stuff, because David Montgomery won't be playing this week and won't be playing the rest of the season, at least as of right now, is Jahmyr Gibbs. But he's had a hell of a year so far. Here's an interview that he did with Jim Rohn. I didn't even know Jim Rohn was still around. But here's an interview he did. Jim Rohn's he's working at so many different networks.
Got a couple questions
he's not burning anymore.
He damn straight burning no more. Which is good. I mean, he went to the doctor. But here's Jim Rohn and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Your running mate in the backfield, David Montgomery, went down with that torn MCL. Can you really convince yourself that it's the next man up, or when it's your dude, is it maybe a different deal?
Yeah, this one hit different. Because it's my guy, my brother. So definitely be playing for him. It's past, however long he's out. I'm gonna be playing for him. So yeah, he's gonna be missed by me, and the team. He was one of the heartbeats of the team. And yeah, that's a hard one.
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being real about that. Have you checked in on him? How are his mentals? How's his headspace?
Yeah, talked to him a little bit yesterday. He's pretty sure he's fine. He holds a lot of stuff in on the inside, so we never know. But hopefully he's doing good. He's in my prayers as always. Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs joining us. So with his injury, it's safe to assume that, man, they're going to rely on you even more in the stretch run. Knowing that you're going to get to tote the rock even more, does that change your approach? Look, I know you're going to prepare yourself the same way no matter what, but does this change your approach mentally and physically because they will rely on you more?
Yeah, I think, I haven't really thought about it too much. Because, I've been doing this my whole life. So, I was always kind of used to, being, the number one guy. So I don't think it's going to be too much, too different right now. So
the question I want to ask coming out of this conversation, and he kind of ends with it, which is perfect. Now, it's great to see the love that he has for his brother. And you can tell that they're not just brothers because the media put them together, Sonic and Knuckles. You can tell they rock with each
genuine.
other. You can actually hear it in his voice. So I'm definitely going to put it on. So you love that it's genuine. That was a good look into it. But the last thing he said, I'm used to being number one back.
Mm-hmm.
Are you, in a weird way, Maz? I'll come to you first. I know this is your guy. In a weird way, are you excited because you can see what number 26 can do by itself?
It's a great question, man. Yeah, I am. You know what? As hurt as I am to see Monty go out, I like it. What I mean by that is I want to see this guy. I want to see really what he's got. They drafted him number one for a reason. They passed up Bijan Robinson for a reason. This guy's got the goods, man, and he's got a great offensive line in front of him. I know I said yesterday they were getting a little tired. They are. It's a long season. They're not the youngest guys. I know Penei Sewell is, but to run behind this league, behind this line, and to have the receivers that they have, and Jared Goff playing at his peak right now, I think it's all going to be good, man. I think it's going to be, I'm not going to say Barry Sanders-like, but if Barry could do it, why the hell can't this kid do it?
But
not the same size.
But, Maz, you can't take a running back with the 12 pick.
Right.
It's too much capital.
Yeah,
we should have Jalen Carter here.
Jalen Carter's damn good. I'd like to have him. But the running back is coming back, guys. The running back is coming back.
I appreciate that, Anson, but we're not talking about whether you should have drafted him or Jalen Carter. We're talking about, are you excited to see him in his own space? Because so many times, here's Monty. Here's Jahmyr. Here's Monty. Here's Jahmyr. You know what Monty's players are going to give you for the most part. You know what Jahmyr games are going to do. Now, I think you have a situation where you're going to catch defenses off guard because they're looking for a number 5 to come in, but he's not coming in. So you got to figure out what 26 is going to do the whole game.
I was a huge, huge fan of this draft pick when it was made.
You gave me a card, I want to say.
You
or Brody gave me an Alabama Jahmyr card.
So, yeah, you got one. For him to come here, when he arrived, he was really quiet. Kind of reminded you of Barry Sanders.
Yep.
This is a guy that does his work and doesn't say much. The fact that he showed that love for a guy that in pretty much 30 to 31 other cities, if you're sharing the rock as a running back, you're licking your chops for what just happened right now. You're not lamenting the loss of your brother, And this guy, he has so much that we still haven't seen because he's never been able to fully establish a rhythm in a full game. They're going to supplement him with plenty of other guys, but so many Lions fans, it took them a year, maybe even all the way up until now, to fully embrace him as the number 12 or 13 pick, wherever we took him.
12.
There could not be a better player for this roster in the situation that we're in right now than what could be considered maybe the best running back in the league behind Saquon Barkley. And we might see him through this last month show that he might be the best.
That's a great thing, man. I'm looking forward to this. I really am. I love this kid. Let's see what he's got. I always wanted the two of them in the backfield at the same time.
Right.
I did.
We may get that in the playoffs, but before we get that, KG, look, we got 26 in the backfield, and he's talked about it. He's always been the number one guy, whether it was Georgia Tech or it was Alabama. kind of excited to see though we can do with 70 plays in a game.
No, definitely, and something that a lot of fans have been lamenting throughout the year is that they want to see Jahmyr Gibbs get more carries. And it does seem like, especially towards the latter half of the year, that he was starting to take that next step. So I'm not worried at all. I think he'll be able to handle that role fine. Now, they won't use him as a 3-down, every down back or like a workhorse back. They'll still supplement other runners here and there. But as far as him getting the bulk of the carries, I'm definitely excited for what he can do because he's not just a speed guy. And that goes so slept on about Jahmyr Gibbs' game. He's somebody that can hit you in the gaps. He's somebody that he's not afraid to take contact and run on the inside. And once he gets to the second level, it's over. So I'm absolutely excited to see what he can do in place of Monty.
Yeah, you're not lying. And I think a lot of this, people, they haven't necessarily paid attention to his growth as a running back. Yeah. I think now you're seeing them switch off and on between 5 and 26. So you're just watching the highlights when he plays, or you're watching, he's gotten better as a running back. He's running between the tackles now. He's patient when he's waiting for the blocks. He's allowing Penei Sewell to pull across and set up those blocks. He's doing a great job. Like before he gets to the outside, we know the guy's fast. Jahmyr Gibbs is fast as I don't know what. Yeah. But he's not just using that speed. He's actually using running back skill. He's using vision. So he's really growing as a running back. And I think patience is the number one.
The first half of last season, he looked good, but the game hadn't slowed down for him yet.
Yeah, it just looked all raw and instinctive.
It slowed down for him last year. This year, he gets it. His vision and patience are elite at this point. And, he can do everything from hitting you to outrunning you and catching the ball. It's going to be very, very fun to watch this kid over the last month.
Peace by back.
I just wanted to ask you a question, Bray. Do you see the Lions using Amon-Ra, St. Brown in the run game a little bit, how the Bears used DJ Moore a little bit on Monday night because they used him out of the backfield, the jet sweeps and all that stuff. Do you see the Sun God getting more carries?
I do. And it's funny you mentioned that because I was you can look at my notes right here.
Really?
I was about to. No, it's perfect. I was going to transition to Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I can see Ben Johnson drawing some things up. He's a tough guy. Yeah. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown is a wide receiver that really plays like a running back.
Played with food poisoning last week.
And this is the type of guy he is. Shout out to Woodward Sports, by the way, on social. That post yesterday, who was talking about Amon-Ra in high school? Yeah. Did you see that post? It's somebody on the bench. What team was it? It was Waddle. It was Waddle from the Dolphins, and he was on top. He was like, man, you see Amon-Ra St. Brown? He said, you should have seen him in high school, and it fades into a clip. His high school highlight tape. It was a dope tape. Check it out if you haven't looked at the Woodward Sports social, but that was fire. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think they will give him some carries to get him more involved in the running game as well.
Cool.
Bless you. Excuse me. You're going to see 6 guys involved in the running game. You're going to see Saint get some touches. You're going to see J-Mo on lots of sweeps. I think you're going to see Laporta get maybe 1 carry or 2 carries almost every week. You're going to see some wild stuff go through our offensive line, and you're going to see plenty of Netflix. And Maz, we're finally going to see my Mr. Vaki.
100%. Can't wait to see Sion. Sorry about that. I had a little cough attack. But wanted to get to Amon-Ra St. Brown. The reason why is because in a loss, I think all was forgotten the game that he had. And you can call him garbage stats. I don't. I call him a guy that's ready to play at all times. 14 catches, 193 yards. You saw the 78-yard touchdown. And then he even had a touchdown. Who said Amon-Ra St. Brown was slow? Who said that?
Nobody. Game-breaking.
Had a hell of a game, man. He's just a guy that you can just rely on. He's a guy you can depend on, whether you're the offensive coordinator, whether you're the quarterback, whether you're the wide receiver, or whether you're the head coach. Dan Campbell, this is DC talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And that's the stuff that Saint does over and over. Everybody sees the production, the receiving, the route running, the run after catch. But I don't know if everybody always sees the amount of dirty work that guy does for us. And it's rare. It's rare to have a receiver that does everything and does it at a high level. And if things don't feel good on your body or you're sick, and it just goes, man, because you don't want to let the guys down.
Yeah, and that's Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't think there's anything he can do to let the Detroit Lions down. Look, he had a drop in the game, and because of that, he came back and he may have missed another one. He was a little woozy out there, but he came back and he just made plays. This game could have went a lot differently, and this could have been rewarded, but he's just a guy that you steadily depend on. Every time you start to say, okay, well, he's starting to fade. No, he's there. He's waiting to make things happen.
More clutch wide receiver in the NFL than Saint right now. Name one.
I can't.
You really can't.
You can name more. Yeah, you can, and it's not fair, but yeah, just this.
JJ,
not
who
this
is
year.
It?
was Jahmyr Chase, the triple count guy.
Well, I mean, sure, Jahmyr Chase is a game breaker. He'll take the top off of a game and put up the kind of
every game this year that they've needed to him, he's done it. It's just been the defense.
But if you look at, there's 4 or 5 games
Jahmyr Chase
where
can't play defense.
70% of his yardage and production have come from 5 games.
Yeah.
Where's this guy at on third down? Because I'm pretty sure they got a losing record.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow's not finding him all the time on a fourth down, third down, or at goal lines. When you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's the guy that you're going to on third down, on fourth down, at the end zone. And then on top of it, you just know that if it's nitty-gritty time, if he doesn't have the ball, he's going to be part of that play, blocking downfield, doing something. I just don't know if there's better wide receivers talent-wise. Is there a more valuable wide receiver to their team in the NFL right now than Amon-Ra St. Brown in Detroit? No. I don't think so.
No, the way you've asked the question, the 2 times, you've asked it the right way. Like you asked, is there a more clutch wide receiver?
Don't make me ask it a third.
No, you don't. You don't, because I'm going to answer you. You asked, is there a more clutch? And there is not. Right now, he is clutch. Whenever the Lions have meted, whether it was in Green Bay when it was raining outside, where we got the infamous celebration, touchdown celebration, whether it was in Houston against the Texans when you needed it to have, whether it was against Minnesota when you had to come back not once, but twice. These are moments in which he's shown up and he showed it. So to your point, nobody's more clutch than Amon-Ra St. Brown at that position right now.
It started back in 2021. We were 0-10 and 1.
The Vikings game.
Stick and I had gone a full calendar year without broadcasting one damn win. And we were supposed to lose that game after we had dominated the first half.
He wasn't even the number 1 option that year.
It's funny because I went and watched that episode just over the weekend. And Stick and I are just talking about things that we were happy about in that game that came to fruition so many more times over the last 3 years. But that was the moment. That was a time where there's like 17 seconds left in this game. You're down to third and fourth down in the red zone. And this 4th round pick comes out of nowhere to win that game. And all we've seen
against the Vikings.
All we've seen since is that guy come through in the biggest moments for 3 seasons now.
Wow. You're on fire today. You absolutely. I remember that game like it was yesterday, man. It was a lot of tears.
Job.
There it was. Quintez Cephas from the University of Wisconsin. Quintez Cephas had some hands. I think he got injured. I don't know the rest of his history. He just kept getting injured. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The Minnesota Vikings game, last play of the game. Yeah, it was the
I got some clips I'm going to send to the team that we'll drop this week.
Okay. I like it, man. I like it. I would like it also if you would give me a little note about KDK Law. Because I heard they've got your back.
Well, hey, I could do that because when you're talking about family law, talking about visitation, child custody, divorce. This is all scary stuff, but you have nothing to fear if you give KDK Law a call. You can hit that QR code right above you or call them at 248-971-0476. Listen, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law, they got over 10 years of experience and they got that ever important 24/7 availability. So after you hit that QR code or give them a call, make sure that you mention that we sent you, Woodward Sports sent you, and they'll take care of your filing fee. KDK Law, they got your back.
Dr. Jeff Pierce joins us every Tuesday on Big D Energy right here on Woodward Sports. Joins us on Thursdays. And when we call on him, when they pick up the bat phone, he's there. He was on with us just a couple of days ago and yesterday as well, talking about all these injuries for the Lions. He's the guy that told you David Montgomery might not be done this year. Check him out, MichiganSportsAndSpine.com for more information. It is 248-426-9944. Dr. Jeff Pierce.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 days of fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
We got to tell you about these signature wings because they're only going to be here for a limited time at Soroki's. The signature wings, they're here now, man. Football season, pull up on them. Lemon pepper being the best one, but they got 6 other ones to go along with it. Speaking of that teriyaki, the honey barbecue, the mild, the buffalo, oh, I'm telling you, man, you got to get active because you know they got the crispy chicken intact, so you know they will be able to do the signature wings as well. And then the locations are popping up all over the place. We just told you about 2 that popped up in Fenton and Heartland. They're all over the place. They're in Detroit. They're in Farmington Hills, Novi downtown. You name it, they're there by you. Even Shelby Township, Clinton, we can keep going. Signature wings, and remember, they also got the pizza. They also got the honey biscuits.
Yes.
And they got that fountain soda that Maz says has the best pop in the game.
Good soda.
Pull up on us.
Listen, winter is coming. You know you do not want to end up stuck on the side of the road because you're overdue for a new car. So you got to beat that holiday rush. Get one of the amazing deals that is being offered by Les Stanford Chevrolet right now. They got a Blazer EV 2LT, all-wheel drive, only $149 a month, or take a little upgrade to the Equinox EV-LT for only $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today or click on that QR code above my head right there and check out that massive inventory because they not only do Chevrolet, but Les Stanford also has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale, lesstanford.com.
My apologies. My nephew is taking a visit. Micah that left University of Michigan is taking a visit. Can't tell you where, but my college roommate happens to be on that coaching staff, so I'm trying to connect some dots, if you will. My apologies.
Okay. Chat, connect the dots.
100%, man. Shout out to Micah Pollard. But you know what else it's time to shout out? It's Dan Campbell Fox 2. Gotta bring him in on a Wednesday that's, not the best, but here we are. Dan, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing today?
Well, hold up. Holiday season is around the corner. I feel like you're trying to get these last Christmas gifts out of the way and get ready for a Merry Christmas.
I'm with you, man. I hope everybody out there has one.
Before we get there, let's talk about these Detroit Lions. And before we get to the game this past Sunday, good news or news today about Dave Montgomery. Dan Campbell said maybe getting a third opinion on David Montgomery, so might not be placed on IR, and there may be some hope. Give our fans some hope, Dan. What's going on with this situation as of right now?
Yeah, I mean, Braylon, you know all the ACL, MCL, PCL, all that stuff, and the MCL is one that can be a little bit funny, and it's one that I think it's a pain tolerance thing sometimes if they find out that you can't do any more damage to it. So that's probably about as far as I'd go on my understanding of an MCL, but it doesn't appear that it's done yet. I don't know if that means it's still going to be several weeks or a month before he could possibly come back or somewhere in the playoffs or anything like that. I guess just what you take it as good news is that they're being careful with it. They're trying to make sure they do the right thing with it. They're not going to do anything that's going to endanger David. And if he can come back, that would be fantastic because obviously, as that defense gets hit, they need that offense to carry more of the load, and he's a guy that can do that. So we'll see what happens. And bottom line is, and I know this is the way they're looking at it, whatever happens, they're going to make sure that he's taken care of because they don't want anything short term to impact something long term.
No, not especially after you signed him to a long term. Dave Montgomery is a part of the makeup here. He's a part of the identity of the Detroit Lions, so I definitely see that. Aiden Hutchinson, he announced that he says that he hopes to play on Super Bowl, or he promises that to play Super Bowl. Now, this is something that's great for the fan base, but how serious would you even take Aiden's comments?
Look, I know if there is anybody that will get back as fast as they possibly can, it's Aiden Hutchinson, because he's got that Amon-Ra gene. He's just relentless to be the best he can be, and he wants to get back out there with his teammates. And I love the fact that he's being optimistic. But again, I go back to what I said about Demo. They're not going to do anything that will impact Aiden long term. And if he's going to be out there for a snap in a Super Bowl or an NFC Championship game or something like that, they're going to want to feel absolutely certain that he can put as much pressure on that leg as possible and, get in there and mix it up with a 330-pound offensive tackle and not have any concerns that there's something pre-existing there that's going to be a problem. So how serious do you take it? I'll believe it when I see it, and that's nothing to do with Aiden. It's a really serious injury that he had, and I know he'll be back when he's ready to be back, and when the doctors say he's ready to be back, and when the organization says he's ready to be back. And if that was because they advanced to a Super Bowl or an NFC Championship game, that would be obviously fantastic, because when he went down, you lost one of the top defensive players in football. But again, man, that's a big one to come back from that quickly, and we'll just see what happens. But I know it is, as fast as he can do it, that's how fast it would happen.
Dan, all these other injuries, and I don't have to go through them all, but Aleem McNeil right in the middle there, Carlton Davis in the backfield, Khalil Dorsey goes down, Carlton Davis's replacement, and Dan Campbell refuses to ever even bring up an injury when he's doing his post-game press conference. This week he kind of brought it up and said, it's fuel for us. We're going to go out and win for these guys. How can a team even think about losing when you're led by men like this?
Well, it's funny because so many coaches over the years have told me when they're at a podium talking to us, they're talking to their players. Yep. They're setting the tone for their organization. Now, he'll say these things to them in a meeting or something like that, but believe me, when Dan Campbell goes out there and says those things and sets the mood for his team and sets the mood for going forward, he's talking to fans, he's talking to media, he's talking to players, he's talking to coaches, he's talking to the sales department over there at Ford Field, he's talking to everybody in the organization. That's how he wants everybody to view this. Look, they may be up against it here, and I don't know if they have enough left to finish this thing, but I do know this: Dan Campbell's not going to take what it says on paper and apply that to the future of this team. He's going to trot 11 guys out there on Sunday against Chicago, and the following week against San Francisco, and the following week against Minnesota, and the following week if they have a playoff game against somebody, and we know they'll have a playoff game in the second week. So, look, I just think we know his makeup. He's not going to give in to this thing. He's not going to use it as an excuse. It doesn't mean that there isn't some sort of reality here, possibly, that, man, you've endured so many injuries that your defense is up against it right now. But you can't go up there in front of the media and say that and have your players think that they have an out, that, hey, we don't have enough guns left in this thing. We're going to just kind of, go out there, do what we can, but it'll be all right. The tone he has set for every injury that has happened since the beginning of the year is the next guy that has gone in is expected to play just as well as the guy that he's replacing. Now, is that realistic? No, but it is the tone that you'd want to set so that there is no let up and there is no lowering of the bar for anybody that goes out there. And that's what a head coach should do.
Every Wednesday, we are blessed to have the voice of the Lions here, Dan Miller's Weekly Drive presented by Les Stanford. We've been talking about who is going to supplement the run game next to Jahmyr Gibbs. Got a lot of different things going on, talking about maybe, Saint and J-Mo getting some more sweeps, maybe even seeing Laporta on some goal line, maybe even seeing some offensive linemen. One guy we do know is Netflix. Another guy that we don't know is somebody that I was on before the draft, Sione Vaki. This guy was actually the number 1 receiving back with 10 or more receptions last year in college, and the number 4 running back, PFF rated, with 40 or more carries. I didn't think we were drafting him to be a running back, and in fact, we haven't used him defensively at all. I've always kind of thought that this is the direct replacement to Jahmyr Gibbs. Do you think we don't see much of him because of that? Because we need a power back, somebody like Netflix? Or do you think we finally get a taste of a guy in Sione Vaki that was a relatively unknown draft pick for the Lions this April?
Yeah, the short answer is I'm not sure how they're going to do that. The long answer would be I think we do see him at times. I think you'll see Reynolds, and I think you'll see Vaki. I mean, I think Gibbs is obviously going to get the bulk of the work here, and he's a gifted back. He easily could be one of the best single backs in this league with his skill set. But I think if they've shown anything, they want to spot these guys. They want to make sure that they're not – I don't think he's cut out to have 35 touches a game over the final 3 games of the regular season and roll into the playoffs. So I do think you're going to need some other guys to help lift the load. This coaching staff really trusts Greg Reynolds. They really believe in him when he goes out there. They believe in him in pass protection. They believe in him when he's got the football in his hands. They believe he can do the job. But I do think Vaki gives you a little bit of that elusiveness that you'd like to have. We saw some of it in the preseason. And I'd be surprised if he didn't get at least a little shake out there and an ability to take some snaps and see what he can do. I just think when you get to this point, if in fact they don't have Montgomery, I do think you probably look to see, okay, what can these other 2 guys give us? And they do have kind of a diverse skill set there where Reynolds is more of a power guy and Vaki is a guy that can give you, as you attributed to him there, an ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and also an ability to make some guys miss. So I'm kind of interested to see how they handle it. My guess is, again, that obviously Gibbs gets the bulk of it, but that we see both of those guys in some of the other situations.
Dan, one thing about our network is we're going to tell you when we got to take right, because I know I do it all the time, and Anson definitely was right about Sione Vaki. He called that back in January, so shout out to Anson on that one. We got to talk about Sunday. Obviously, it is a loss. 11 in a row, they're going for 12. They lose to the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen put on another good performance. As a team, they just look really good, and the Lions' offense did well. I don't want to ask about the injuries in the game, more so overall view. What did you see in the loss to the Buffalo Bills this past Sunday?
I think, number one, in a game like that ends up being a shootout, you can look back and say, when you have 2 empty possessions to start the game and 2 empty possessions to start the second half, that really puts you behind the 8 ball in terms of momentum, in particular when you're having trouble stopping them. You know, we talk about it in the broadcast. If it's a shootout, bring your guns, and you've got to be ready to go. And they weren't right off the top. Now, obviously, they picked it up. They scored 42 points. They had over 500 yards. But when you're down 14-0 and you're trying to come from behind, your defense is having a tough time getting stops. You got a quarterback playing at an MVP level out there. All credit to Josh Allen, who was terrific in this game. You look to your offense to have a little bit more. And, I apologize if a team scoring 42 points and asking for an offense more seems odd, but I felt like the tone for that game was set when the offense wasn't able to score early, and it gave Buffalo, that ability to just feel good about themselves, puff out their chest, and play with a little less pressure on them because they had the edge on the scoreboard. And you don't want to give a team like that ability. So if anything you learn from that, I think is, look, we know this defense is going to be a little bit shorthanded going forward. The offense has to try to avoid those lulls, start games fast, put the other team back on their heels. When we've seen them do that against Seattle, against Dallas, against some of these other teams, it's been tough for the other teams to keep up with the volume that this offense can throw at them. But in this game, it took them a little while to get going, and I think in both halves, that hurt them. And in the second half, you come out at halftime, you're ready to roll. You're thinking we're going to get back in this thing, and boom, James Cook goes 41 yards for a touchdown, and all of a sudden you're further behind. So I think that, look, the defense had a lot of problems in that game. They got to figure some of those out. Those backs were getting to the second level before they were being touched. You got to figure that out and find some way to box in the quarterbacks. But, look, he's having a special season. He was just red hot in that game. Give credit to Buffalo. But you do have to figure out some way to shore up that defense a little bit. Not the same challenge this week against Caleb Williams, but don't give him any reason to feel confident in this game. Find a way to get some stops early.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's kind of like the Green Bay Lions game. Obviously, Green Bay, they got behind the Lions early, and though they heated up late, Lions are already here and playing a little bit better, so I definitely love that. Got to ask the one question. I know Maz is going here next, so I apologize, Matt. Got to talk about the call. You know it's on the board. Where are you with the call? I've heard a lot of people say they don't have a problem with the call, and I heard a lot of people say if it would have been on the next possession after you stop and score, they don't have a problem. Where are you? 12 minutes, Dan Campbell, he makes that call.
I didn't love it. I said it during the broadcast. I think the odds of you getting it in this NFL with the rules that they have in place now are just so overwhelmingly against you that I didn't like it there. Now, I understand his thinking. Their defense wasn't stopping them, and he thought at worst they're going to get the ball 45-yard line or something like that. But I guess I'd say even at the 45-yard line, if you're giving it to a hot quarterback, that's a problem. But, I just, again, didn't love it, said it at the time. Certainly didn't anticipate a return like that. That was just crazy. But I know where he was coming from. But it's not the way I would have gone. I would have seen if there was some way that I could get a stop from my defense and try to keep some momentum because you had just scored. You were getting back in it. I think you were 10 down at that point. And that just, allowed them to go down there and get a 3-score lead again. But man, it's just so hard in this league now because you can't overload the one side. You got to have 5 and 5. And the numbers just don't add up to onside kicks. And more than anything else, that would probably be the reason. If we had the old rules and you had a chance to go out there and really get it, because it was a good kick, and they got a bounce off of Holland's hands, he made a great play to haul it back in. So maybe if you have 6 guys over there or something like that, you got a chance to jar that thing loose or get there before he does. But it's just they've made it so difficult now with these new kickoff rules.
Dan, they got to change this rule. I mean, it's a terrible rule. It's a bad kickoff. Listen, here's what you do. Regular kickoffs, go back to the old way. If you kick it in the end zone, and the other team can't run it out, that team gets it on the 40-yard line or 35-yard line.
I think 35. I wouldn't be surprised, Maz, if they did the 35.
There you go.
Just to make it a little more of a penalty to not have a return.
Yep.
Look, this is clearly
it's not working.
Brought the result that they're looking for.
It's not.
Because teams have just, look, even when teams return it, they rarely get it past the 30. Your first physical contact, if you watch these things, seems to be around the 23, 24-yard line. And they're not getting it to the 30. So you're fighting like heck just to get to the 30 on a return. It's not worth it.
No.
And if you're kicking it off, are you fighting to stop them at the 26 if you land it at the 1 and make them return it? Mm-hmm. So they tried. It didn't get the desired result. I think they'll take a look at it in the offseason. I think it'll be either tossed or tweaked. But certainly this isn't an answer that they were looking for.
It's got to go. It's an embarrassment, especially the onside kick rule. That's an embarrassment. You can only do it in the fourth quarter.
Well, we had the onside kick rule that had changed in terms of how many guys you can put on each side.
Yes.
We had that, but before you didn't have to declare.
Correct.
And before you didn't have to just do it in the fourth quarter, and that's the other thing is
and behind.
There's no surprise anymore.
No, that's a bad thing. That's got to go. I wanted to ask you about the O-line. I know. Let's face it. These guys are beaten. They're beaten up. Do you still think they're the top line in the league, or are they wearing down?
I think everybody's beaten up at this point. But look, I'm in the booth with 2 offensive linemen every week, and they have certainly pointed out over the last 2 weeks that we are not getting the normal push that we have gotten with this offensive line. So the answer to your question is let's find out.
Yeah.
Because these guys, when we've seen them have an off game, they've bounced back. Now we've seen them kind of have 2 off games. Now look, scoreboard didn't work in their favor in this past game because the running game was kind of taken out of it. But I think they'd be the first to tell you that these aren't games that they would want to hang their hat on the last 2 weeks. They've been below 4 yards a carry in both those games. So part of this team being able to survive what they're going through right now is going to be that offensive line's got to lead. Those 5 guys have to lead the way. Those 5 guys have to help them get that running game back. And those 5 guys have to help Jared have time to stand back there and throw. This team's at their best when they're running it and they get that bang-bang play action where Jared fakes the give and comes up firing. And it's a beautiful thing when it's working in sync. But it's tough when you're not running the ball effectively, and right now they're not. So I think it's fair to say the offensive line's had a couple of off games, and I think they'd be the first to tell you they know they got to bounce back against a pretty good Chicago defense coming up this week.
And yeah, Dan, thanks for joining us today. And I wanted to ask you about the Bears game because we all know the scare that we had on Thanksgiving, although I felt like the Lions had full control of that ball game. And personally, I think this week they're going to go in and bludgeon the Bears just based on everything that's happened. But, of course, it's a division opponent. It's not going to be easy going to Soldier Field and trying to get that dub. But can you just, elaborate on some things that the Lions can work on in order to ensure a victory in Soldier Field against the Chicago Bears?
It has never been easy to play there. That place is always difficult when you go in there, regardless of what Chicago's doing. And look, when you're talking about a team with, Swift at running back and Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Rome Odunze and Cole Kmet, you got your hands full defensively. They're going to challenge you. And I know, Caleb Williams has been up and down, and he's looked, as Jim Schwartz used to say, suspiciously like a rookie a lot of times this year. I think still he can make some throws. And when you're a team that is up against it a little bit defensively, you're going to have to come out there and find some way to contain him because he likes to move around back there. Sometimes I think it's to his detriment, but he likes to move around back there, and you got to find some way to contain him. So this is going to be a big challenge right off the bat for this defense. I know this team's lost 8 in a row. I know they're struggling. They do have some talent on defense. I think the Lions have to get back to being, as we just talked about, being able to run it, have a balance in their attack, running the ball and being able to throw the ball. I look at this game as probably a good game to have on your schedule against a team that's lost 8 in a row, but at the same time, you will have to go in there and earn it. This isn't going to be one where you're just going to roll the football out there and win by a score of 37-17 or something like that. These guys are fighting. These guys, you got a lot of pros on the other side of that team, in particular on the defense, and some stud playmakers on offense. And this is going to be, I think, tell us a lot about where the Lions are and what the viability of this team going forward is can you handle this team on the road, outside, one of 3 outdoor games you're going to play all year, and find a way to win. We know how they can do it. It's a question of, can you go out there and execute that plan?
Join us every Wednesday. Dan Miller's Weekly Drive, brought to you by Les Stanford. I got one final question for you, and it's a very important one. Favorite Christmas movie?
Christmas Vacation.
All right.
We watch it every Christmas Eve. So that's it, without a doubt.
We appreciate you, man. It's tough after a loss, but you know what's crazy? When you go 12-2, you're like, you know what? We lost one, but that's what the NFL is. Nobody's going undefeated to get to the big dance. You're going to lose some games. You got to learn from them. People forget that.
Braylon, it's crazy. When you win 11 in a row and then you lose, you forget that sting and how bad it feels. And it does feel like this cloud just coming crashing down upon you. But you know what? By Tuesday or Wednesday, you figure out the next one's coming and you better get ready. And I think that's where they are right now. And I can't wait to see what happens in Chicago on Sunday.
Yeah, Dan Campbell spoke at the podium, and we got real excited about it. So I'm ready. I'm ready for Sunday. I'm ready for the Lions, man. Dan, always a pleasure. Always good to see you.
Have a good time, man.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks,
Dan.
Bless.
Always good to talk to that guy.
No
but
doubt.
You're absolutely correct. You win 11 games in a row. You feel good. You poke your chest out. You stand on the mountaintops. You beat stick, and you yell at Green Bay fans, and you're feeling yourself. And then you lose and you forget. It does hurt when you lose, but also it is one loss.
Lost to a pretty good team that's not in our league.
Last time I checked, this is a team that 2 weeks ago people were saying was better.
Yep.
Than the Kansas City
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Not conference. It's okay to lose to an AFC team. You know what? They played hard. They gave them a 14-0 lead. They gave them a 14-point lead at the beginning of the third quarter, and they still fought to the very end. And you got Jake Bates diving in for a freaking onside kick that they knew was coming, and they almost got it. The kid had it, and it got taken from him. And I think they probably could have won that damn game had they gotten the ball again. That's how confident I am in this team. But I want to ask Anson something that he hasn't been here for this question. Right now, as the defense sits, is this defense as good or is it worse than last year's defense at this point?
It's better because our secondary is deep. Losing Carlton obviously is a blow, but we didn't have a number one corner last year. It was a hodgepodge. And
you don't now.
But the big thing is, well, sure, and we're in the same situation, but you have so many other guys there that have been brought on. Amik's been really, really strong. Mm-hmm. That was such a problem for this team last year, and I think it was exacerbated by the fact that you had to have Branch close to the line.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you don't have to have him and you're allowing him to free flow, I guess that's my big concern right now, is if they start playing him closer to the line, because we're hearing that if he's going to be back this week, you might have a very similar but deeper secondary last year without Hutchinson, but you get Z in there. That's a fair question. It's a really fair question, actually, Maz. The more that you do the subtraction, because there is a lot of subtraction, you lose Anzalone, you don't have Aleem, you don't have Hutch, and you can add in all of these other guys that you have. Ultimately, our Achilles heel last season was the secondary. So if the secondary can stay together and not lose any more guys, I think that this is overall a better defense. Not getting to the quarterback as much, though.
Yeah, 100%. And very interesting, Zadarius Smith didn't necessarily play as many snaps as he's usually played this past game. So we want to get to the bottom of that. Kind of still want to know what that was about. Was he a little bit banged up? Was he a little bit tired? Or was it something that Buffalo's offensive schematic scheme was doing that the Lions noticed in that? But, excuse me, talking to Dan Miller, it is one game.
Yeah.
It's one game against a damn good team. And one of the things I love that he said was we came out the block slow. Like we didn't talk about the injuries, and I didn't really want to talk about the injuries in the game. What did you see in the game? He said you got out to a slow start. You look at that Green Bay game, like Green Bay came back on the Lions towards the end. They were humping, but they were in the block. They got out the block slow. They got a bad start. That's what happened with the Lions. They got out the block slow, and you see how it affected them. The Buffalo Bills played ahead the whole game as opposed to really being in a dogfight.
The only thing that the Lions did well in that first quarter was not turn the ball over. Stick and I got into it heavy Sunday night because he says that the biggest problem with the game was the drop by Amon-Ra at the end of the second quarter. Fact is, you don't need that catch if you show up in the first quarter. They got
would have been nice though.
They got smoked 14-0 in that first quarter. No momentum on the defensive side, no momentum on the offensive side. And even when we spotted other team points, we still made moves in that first quarter. I mean, there was a lot of SOL fans worried in that first quarter because they looked so lost. Now, for me,
that's how they started the Texas game.
Yeah, but not that whole first quarter.
Yeah, it was
towards
even
the end
worse
of the
in this game.
first quarter, towards the end of the first quarter with Minnesota, they showed they were gaining ground. They were making plays. Listen, no quit, all grit. That's what we saw out of a team that probably should have been blown out by 20-plus points on Sunday. But they lost by 6 with an opportunity to maybe have a shot with 12 seconds left. Cardiac cats. And you heard our guy Dan say it. He doesn't care if he gives up 700 yards and wins by a point. He doesn't care if they only put up 50 yards on offense and win by a point. And that's the focus of this team, is 1 week at a time, win one game at a time. And that mantra, that belief, the mojo's so strong with this team. That's why I worry about not having a Monty out there because he is a leader. Why you worry about not having Hutch and Anzalone because they're out there as leaders. But the fact is every single guy in Honolulu Blue is ready to step up like I've never seen on any other team ever.
Yeah, the Lions, all season they've been taking the ball first for the most part, scoring that first touchdown. These got to continue to do that.
There can't be any other team that's had 12-2 or even 11-3 with this many injuries. It has to be a record to be this good with this many injuries.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is a record, KG.
No, Dante is back in the chat.
Oh, so. Dante 151?
Yeah, he's back in the chat. So if you want to highlight at him real
quick.
Dante
151. We said earlier on the show, man, appreciate your loyalty, man, and we want to start getting the fans more involved, more engaged, if you will. So I want you to come up with a question or a topic that you want to talk about in the last segment of the show. That time we kind of mess around the last 6-7 minutes of the show. So you come up with a question there, you come up with a topic, we'll talk about it, and then in the future moving forward, we'll find a way to get people in talk. Maybe everybody comes up with a topic, Maz picks the topics that he likes the best, or we rotate each day, and then we get guys involved or women involved or whatever, how you choose to identify involved with the show. So we appreciate that support. Dante 151, you got about 20 minutes to figure out what you want to talk about. Let's you want to take a break real quick? Yeah, let's take a break. Let's clear this energy up here. Let's pay some bills. And let's come back with a new plan for the last 30 minutes of the show. Let's get a message from the pregame show.
Oh yeah, everybody. That's right. every Sunday morning, Sunday morning here on Woodward Sports, 8 to 9 a.m. It's Woodward and Maine with the great Matt Broder and the even greater Terry Reginald Foster. I can't roll my R's like he does, but you can join Matt and Terry for Woodward and Maine every Sunday, Lions game day, 8 to 9 a.m. right here on Woodward Sports. And then following Woodward and Maine, coming up this Sunday, 10 to noon, it's the New Holland Brewing Lions pregame show with the great Sean Belegian and the even greater Neil Rule. His mom just baked us some really good baked goods today, so shout out to Mrs. Rule. God bless you. But you can join Neil and Sean for the Lions pregame show, 10 to noon, coming up this Sunday live in studio because the Lions will be on the road. And this Lions pregame show, which is the best Lions pregame show in all of Detroit, is brought to you by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and 1800 Tequila. And also you can fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of
Sabbath Coffee Roasters.
Head to SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use the code word Woodward, and you'll get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. We'll be right back.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Well, everybody, it's that time of the show where I got to remind you to scan that QR code above my head and get your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account, the official sportsbook here of Woodward Sports. When you do scan that QR code above my head and open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account, use the code word Woodward1000, deposit $20, and make a bet of $20 or more. And if that first bet happens to lose, it won't, but if it does happen to lose, you get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan that QR code above my head, open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account, and use the code word Woodward1000. And then when you start winning, winning, you're going to take your winnings over to shop.woodwardsports.com and load up on some of the great Detroit sports merch out there right now, guaranteed to turn those heads. You got your Lions gear, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, all that sports gear. Oh my, you got a Kenny G, all that sports gear that you need to keep you in the game all year long for every season of the year as well. You can get hoodies to t-shirts. Check it out, shop.woodwardsports.com. It is the holiday season, so get those gifts going right now. Time's running out.
Time is running out on those signature wings as well, as you see in the back. I'm telling you, man. So
I hate that those are
I'm
ending.
starving right now.
I don't understand it.
They are that good.
But you know, that's how Taco Bell wrote you in for years. Taco Bell was the best promotion fast food spot in my lifetime. Like, they got those great promotions.
So this is McRib on steroids.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Because they are chronic. If you
Big
guys
Rib
have not had them
mighty
and you didn't order the biscuits with them, what are you even doing?
Lemon pepper.
Don't just hate on it because it's at a gas station.
Lemon
This
pepper.
is fire chicken we talking
Oh
about.
no, we proved that a long time ago. Because I even said,
I still see people in the chat saying that.
I was like, man, gas station chicken.
What about
no
the
gas station chicken.
Soroki sauce?
Yeah, dude.
Is fire.
So they figured it out. I think they're getting better year by year.
Yeah.
I think year by year they're figuring
Hey,
out.
Dante,
more stores.
Dante 151 came up with a question. Pete, do me a favor.
Sure.
We're going to do around the NFL here.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if you can grab his comment.
I'll grab
so
it
we
for
can
you.
put it up.
Sure, buddy.
And then we'll go over it after we go around the NFL. It's a
Okay.
good question.
I'll set it
Excellent
up for you,
question.
okay?
See?
No,
Dante, I might
the man.
hire you at Woodward Sports.
There we
No,
go.
Dante's the man. Shut
Dante
up.
make too much money to work here, man.
Right.
He's making too
He
much
pay
money.
us every
He's
damn
always
day.
super chatting, man.
On the side, though.
He's dropping 125
On
a
the
day.
side.
Right.
On the side. All right, let's go around the NFL, guys.
it, man.
Let's start it off with the playoff picture as it sits right now. Let's pop that up, and you can see your Detroit Lions still number one, Kansas City Chiefs still number one on the AFC side, but things have changed on the others. You see the Rams now will host a playoff game if it all holds right now. So if the Lions do lose one of these two games and either the Vikings or the Eagles pass them up, they can go to 5 or 6 in the playoffs on the rankings, and that's not what you want. But those matchups right there, who do you like in those games right there as we're looking at on the NFC side? Leave that up, and let's go through it. The first game would be the Rams at the Vikings. Who are you taking?
These teams actually already played each other this year.
That's a tough game for the Vikings.
That's a tough game. That is a tough game for the Vikings, but I'm going to trust the defense of Brian Flores. I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Okay, now I'm going to go to you, Anson, for Buccaneers and the Packers at Green Bay.
Ooh.
I mean, Pack don't lose at Lambeau in the playoffs, man.
Okay.
Period.
And KG, I'll let you pick the Eagles Washington at the Eagles.
I want to pick Washington so bad.
But you're
I
not.
really want to believe in them, but they just not ready yet, man. This is an experienced Eagles team. I got to go Eagles there.
Okay, so now we're going Eagles at Green
change
Bay. You want to?
Can I change mine?
Yeah, I'm changing mine.
Really?
The Rams?
I'm going to the Rams.
The experience
All right,
is
stop.
too much.
Okay, stop. There's your Rams.
I'm going to the experience side, Matt Stafford, and also everything that I said about the Vikings. They don't win in the playoffs, so I can't come off that.
All right, so that leaves us now with game number 1, Green Bay at Philadelphia. Anson.
Philadelphia is written in stone. Lions have to get through Jalen Hurts
so
to
you're
get to the
picking
Super
Eagles.
Bowl. Period.
Okay, Braylon. Rams at the Lions.
Oh, Lions.
Yikes.
Lions.
That quick?
Not a game I want to see.
Okay, and here we go. KG. Lions hosting the Eagles.
You know I'm picking my Lions, man.
Okay.
Be better.
You know I'm picking my Lions.
There you go. So,
Yeah.
we'll go to the AFC side now. First game. Braylon. Texans at the Ravens.
Ooh, that's tough. That's a tough game.
I'm gonna take the Ravens, but if it was in the Texans somehow, I don't trust the Ravens.
Their defense has been bad this year.
100%. It's gotten worse each year, so I'm going with the Ravens.
All right.
But it's gonna be a closer game than people think. And also, Texas went up there last year, so they have experience playing in Baltimore in the playoffs.
Anson. Steelers and Broncos. That one's going to be in Pittsburgh.
Bo Nix is fun, but Mike Tomlin is better. Steelers.
And we go to the last wild card game. This will be the first game that you put on because this one should not be a game.
You're
Maybe
right.
not. It's the Chargers traveling to Buffalo, KG.
Who's got it better than them?
Hey,
the Bills. The Bills will be taking it.
There you go. Nice job.
As much as I love to fight Gibbies, they top out at 17 points every game.
Nice job. All right, Braylon. You got your rematch. Ravens and the Chiefs at Kansas City.
Yeah, it's now or never. I don't think it happens this year either. And it's funny because I actually picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl in the preseason. I think it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs have gotten better and better and better and better, and the Ravens just continue to look like a team where you do not trust them in the big moment.
The Chiefs look better and better and better? Their offense, they can't get out of their own way.
13-1.
They scored 21 points last week against Cleveland.
How many did they need?
I'm just talking.
Playing the scoreboard game.
So you got the Chiefs in the AFC Championship
I
game.
do.
Here we go. You ready, Anson?
Last year we said the same thing, and what did the Chiefs do? They went on a run like no other. So
here's a rematch again. Steelers at Buffalo.
Ooh.
Winner goes to the AFC title game.
Well, Buffalo is 0-4 in the Super Bowl, and why not Josh Allen go 0-4 in the playoffs against Pat Mahomes? So, yes, the Bills will get by Pittsburgh.
I didn't ask you about
I'm just letting you know what's going to happen.
Okay, I don't want to hear about that.
They are going to win so that he can
none
lose
of your
to Pat
business
Mahomes.
for the next game. Are you taking the Bills?
I already said it, baby.
Okay, thank you. KG, you get the pick.
Ooh.
The Bills at Kansas City again.
Dog, come on. Give me Josh Allen to finally get it done. They gonna do it, man.
You really think the NFL wants the two armpits of America facing off in the Super Bowl?
They don't, but listen, how many times can Josh Allen go to Arrowhead and lose? I mean, just...
Four. He can go 4 in the playoffs.
Me personally, I'm picking the Bills in that situation.
Okay.
I have not liked what I've seen from the Chiefs this year.
For the Super Bowl pick, we're going to Maria Adamo, our trusty intern. Maria, you've got the Super Bowl to pick. It's the Lions and the Buffalo Bills rematch.
Lions all the way.
Yeah.
There it is.
She's part of the
got
family,
it, kid.
gentlemen.
There it is.
Title Town.
There it is.
Down Woodward.
How much of this is...
That's a good way to do it, huh?
No, it wasn't. Let me leave it alone. I'll stay away
How
from
much
it.
of this is fandom versus objectivity?
Yeah.
I thought we was pretty objective.
I mean, listen, the NFL wants the Lions there. They want
the Chiefs. Yeah, I agree with that.
There. They
Or
are
the Bills.
partnered with betting sites.
Yeah, true. But the Bills wouldn't be the worst look either. They finally get past Patrick Mahomes.
But
The story's there.
Who on the West Coast is interested in the Bills?
Not a lot of teams.
Who,
not a lot
who
of
in the
people.
Midwest is interested in the Bills? You're East Coast friendly, and that's about it. These are 4-time losers against an all-time loser. Maybe you have
look
the
how
loser
long
bowl.
it took them to get back, though.
Well,
So
it could be
mean,
the loser bowl, but I think that it's the future bowl. Is this the future GOAT and the GOAT in Pat Mahomes with his 4th championship, or is this the Lions' time? And there's no greater script for the NFL than that matchup right there.
I do agree
not
with
Philly,
that.
not the Bills, not Lamar, not anybody else, but the Lions and Kansas City.
What's crazy is you look at it outside of the New England Patriots, who are the best team in the NFL, and they had the best coach and the best quarterback. All the teams that won had the major markets. The Los Angeles Rams, major media market. The Philadelphia Eagles, they went to a major media market. Tampa, not a major media market, but who was the quarterback?
Yeah.
It's Tom Brady. So some way or another, they're going to get theirs. Like in that time.
But you also got the 2 best fan bases in the NFL. Like the Lions,
Chiefs got a great fan base, too.
They do, but they used to winning now. Like I said, the Bills, we all know the 4 straight
Mafia,
Super Bowls. They haven't been there. Finally get back. They finally break through against Patrick Mahomes. I don't think it's bad. I do agree that that's the Lions Chiefs is like set in stone, but I don't think the Lions Bills is a bad matchup.
Pete, right now in Week 15, who's your Super Bowl and who wins? The way we laid it out.
Parlay Pete, what you got?
Right now?
The way we laid it out. First of all, do you agree with the way the guys picked?
Yeah, I do in a way, but I just don't like picking the playoff matches as of right now.
Well, you're going to have
so
to,
much
pal.
ready to change.
Right. You're going to have to.
All right, you just answered the question. You're out. Okay, we're moving on.
We got more time.
Here we go.
Chad loves when we do this, by the way.
We're talking about 15 here, on week 16.
The NFL flexes week number 17 Sunday night game. It was going to be the Browns and Dolphins.
Yes.
Wow, that would have been a stinker.
Yep.
They have changed it to the Falcons at the Commanders.
Not much better.
But the Falcons are going to go with Michael Penix. Will he be the quarterback?
It's scripted.
Braylon in Week 17.
It's scripted.
Yes.
You think he's going the rest of the way?
Yeah,
They
100%.
said that.
They said this week,
had a
Eddie.
press
No, I
release.
think
They
they said
said
this for
this
the rest
week.
of the week. Or for the rest of the year, I thought.
They said moving forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
moving
Yes.
forward.
Yeah, but
You guys can put it any way you
moving
want.
forward doesn't mean the rest of the season.
Correct.
Moving forward means this next start,
Okay.
and then see how it happens. That's
Fair.
what moving forward means.
Fair.
So to Maz's question, yes, I think he runs it for the rest of the year. What you saw out of Kirk Cousins, now look, he had a bad, like outside of the one game, the Vikings game, which wasn't his fault. His last 3 games have been horrible.
Yeah.
And they've been bad. And it's not only that they've been bad. He just,
One touchdown in the last 4
but man,
games.
he just looks lost. He looks unsure of himself. He looks unsure of his health. And that's what it is. If you got a guy making all this money, 180 mil, 100 of it guaranteed, you can't look like this in Week 16. Like, you can't look like that, especially as a guy that we picked to kind of save the franchise. So if I'm the Falcons, I've drafted Michael Penix Jr. because I knew I wanted a franchise quarterback. I knew I wanted a quarterback of the future. Kirk
Not
Cousins,
this quick, though.
100%. And it's going against, like, who do they play this week? The Falcons play
Giants.
The Giants. This is the perfect opportunity
Yeah,
for
Drew Lock.
Michael Penix to come in here, see what he can do. And if you don't like what Michael Penix Jr. does in this game, you know what you can do? You can go back to Kirk Cousins
right.
for the last 2 games of the year, and you still have a chance to make it. They still could be the number 1 seed, or excuse me, they still could win that division,
Correct.
the NFC South. So I don't think it's a bad move. I think it's a calculated play, and this is the best team. Sorry, Maz, it's your Giants.
okay.
But I think this is the
No,
best calculated
they're all
play
done.
for Raheem Morris.
It's a perfect play for them against the worst
I think
team in the league.
This is the best thing the Falcons have done this year, realistically.
Yeah. The NFL won't Penix and Daniels Week 17.
What?
I think it's in the
worst
card.
QB contract in the last decade. Danny Dimes, Kirk Cousins, or your guy Deshaun Watson.
Or Aaron Rodgers.
It's got to be Deshaun Watson, but Danny Dimes is following real close to that.
Deshaun Watson doesn't count. Like he's like Jordan. Like Jordan's. Well, I'm like starting no debates. Jordan's the greatest. You remove him. Jay-Z's the greatest. You remove him. That contract is by far the worst thing ever happened. You just got to remove
when you
that.
add in the insult to that injury that he was traded for what he was traded for, and not just outright signed, he is the worst.
Yeah. But then that's where you got to give the Texans credit, because that's the ultimate heist in NFL history.
No doubt
Texans
about
got
it.
away
Here's
with
the
it.
kicker on Cousins. If they want to cut Cousins, they still owe him $90 million, and they can't trade him because he has a no-trade clause. So he can tell them, cut me, pay me my money, I'll see you later. So he could be a free agent with $90 million in his pocket.
Yeah.
I
forgot
wish
how
I
much.
would have played in this NFL.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
that
forgot how
something?
much they said cost them against the cap, like pre-June 1st, but post-June 1st, they could save a decent amount of money on him if they wanted to cut him. And I think this was always the plan. Did you really think they was going to go 4 years with Kirk Cousins? Especially after drafting Michael Penix?
I thought he was going to be there for 2.
Exactly.
I said no. I legitimately was like, yo.
So it's
Michael
that-
Penix starts
So
the
he's
season.
getting 1 year, $90 million. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
If
more
you
than
ask me.
good.
That's pretty good.
That's a heist.
He'll
Pretty good.
sign off on a trade. I'm assuming that Penix is going to be a quality quarterback. So I think that you'll see Kirk throwing the ball somewhere else.
All right, look, let's take a quick commercial break. Last
Jets.
one.
Come
of
back
the
with
show.
Dante.
Let's go,
Then we'll
Dante.
come back with Dante 151 question. We appreciate you, but before we do that, let's get a message, pay some bills from the postgame.
That's right.
Hey, if you guys joined us last week at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, you knew what a great time it was. It's been building all year long. We had to open up the poker room annex. So make sure you get on the horn, give them a call, reserve your table, bring your family and your crew up. That is the best place to be watching a Lions game during this run. And it is brought to you by our fine friends at the New Holland Brewing Company. They got that Tangerine Space Machine on tap. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, another one of our sponsors. Don't forget about those Sabbath coffee roasters, and of course Taller, your local long drink. Now when you come out there and join us, you're going to get a chance to watch those heavyweights cover the game during the game, live watch party, and then afterwards the longest running show on Woodward. My man Stick, he's over there, and myself, you see above, will be handling the post game, talking about everything and that number 13 win, because that's what's about to happen. Make sure you join us for the watch party and post game show at Hayes Social in Shelby this Sunday for the Lions game.
And New Holland Brewing Company is here to tell you about one of the best drinks out on the market right now. is taller, the Dutch long drink from New Holland Brewing Company, and it is shoulders above the rest, y'all. And let me tell you about it. Made with all natural ingredients, New Holland small batch gin, 100% grapefruit for a fresh and delicious flavor, man. They got them at Meyer, Total Wine, pretty much anywhere alcoholic drinks are sold. Get you some today. It is Taller, your local laundry.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Oh, yeah, everybody. You got to head to the second best bar in downtown Detroit, located at 42 Watson Street. Every Lions home game day, Randy Watson Street. And every Lions home game day, we're going to be there with the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show, brought to you by the smooth Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And you can enjoy some of that Irish whiskey at the second best bar while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at the second best bar. Come get some.
All righty, the Salvation Army Red Kettle Campaign. Maria, thank you. Did I have to tell you to ring it? You're supposed to ring it. You're supposed to hit it right off the get-go. Your donation, of course, will make it possible to serve our community's most vulnerable 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It's a Christmas campaign fundraising goal, $7 million. You know, guys, when you put a $20 bill in that kettle, the Salvation Army turns it into $100. How about that? Scan the QR code on the screen or go to donate.sagreatlakes.org to donate. The Salvation Army Red Kettle.
Maria, hide that bell now.
We're back. We're back. Last segment of the show.
Maria, you're fired.
Last segment of the show, we also said we want to bring Dante 151. He gave us a question Pete put up before
you got
we do
it, my
that.
friend. Hang on.
Shout out again to at Tuba Master Tom on X. He was the winner of Woodward Sports $10,000 challenge.
Oh, yeah, he was in studio.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I know. I was just saying, shout out to him again, man. This is the type of stuff Woodward Sports is doing, man. We want to reward you for being a fan of the network and being growing in our growth. So, shout out again to Tuba Master Tom, 10K. He won.
What did he pick? The score and the scorers?
He picked the exact score, the first score, and the last score.
Wow.
Not easy.
How happy was he when the Lions
we
won
made
that
it hard
goal
to
line?
win that 10K, so you definitely earned it.
His last name is Huffmaster, by the way. His actual government name. So shout out.
Master?
Yes.
That's his real name?
Yes.
Tommy Huffmaster.
Is he huffing? Is he huffing?
I mean, he look like he could huff something, but
all right.
He's 10 grand richer. He can do what he wants.
Betmaster.
Betmaster. Dante151, his question to Maz was, here's my question. Should the NFL supplement or implement what the UFL does when a team wants to do an onside kick
At 4th and 12 at your own 28 for the offense, would you be fine with that?
Well, Pete, you're the one who knows most
Yeah,
about UFL.
clarify,
you and Matt.
please.
I'll let you guys clarify it and run with it.
So let's go over that again.
Thank you.
Okay,
You
it
get the
says-
ball.
Yep.
Go ahead, Pete.
No, I was
tell
gonna say-
him what you would get.
No. I was going to repeat the question.
Yeah,
in case
repeat the question,
that's all I
please.
was
Yeah,
doing.
please.
Is should the NFL implement what the UFL does when a team wants to do an onside kick? It would be 4th and 12 at your own 28 for the offense. Would you be fine with that, Matt?
Instead of the onside kick?
Instead of the onside
Instead
kick.
of the way the onside kick is right now?
That is correct.
I would do anything except the way the onside kick is right now. So to me, I'll take it.
4th and 12, Amon-Ra St. Brown time.
On your
Let's
own
go.
28.
On your own 28.
On your own 28.
Love it.
Better than what you have now.
Ain't the new kickoff based off the UFL rules? The kickoff that they got now.
It is, but they don't have
kickoff
they don't
is.
have the stupid onside kick.
Right,
rule.
right. Yeah, the NFL.
The
came up
NFL
with
did their. I don't know who was thinking of that.
I like. I don't care about that. To your point, I don't know who the hell was thinking about that call because it doesn't make any sense. Like
No.
it's already an impossible feat to get an onside kick. Now you have to report and all the other stuff. Like it makes it even more difficult. It's pointless to do. This I like because it has all the elements. It has all the variety to it. Look, you get the ball on your 28-yard line, which means if you don't get it, they don't have that far to go. And then
Correct.
4th and 12. This is where the stones come out. Can you make a 4th and 12? If you can make a 4th and 12 under these type of pressures, you deserve the ball and you deserve an opportunity. So I like it.
That is excitement, man.
And it's simple too. Like you don't need kicking and dumb kicking and all this extra stuff. Like, just get to the play, get the ball, get it rolling.
Well, the Lions would surely vote for this because 4th and 12 is second nature for them. But to your point about who came up with this thing, it would be the same as having to declare you're faking a punt. You're taking the surprise element out. I love when teams come out to start a second half, get an onside kick.
Yeah.
I like the 4th and 12, but honestly, the removal of the surprise on kickoffs is what bothers me the most. You haven't done that to punts. What's the difference? They're both highly dangerous plays with 8 to 12 or 8 to 11 gunners headed your way. For me, bring it back, maybe adjust it a little bit, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to kick an onside kick at any point in the game.
Yes.
You shouldn't have to telegraph anything
No.
you're doing in football ever.
Correct.
Again, it'd be the same thing as saying, hey, we're going to fake this punt, so defend it well, and hopefully we get it. You know, it just makes no sense. I like the 4th and 12, especially because we are king of 4th down here in Detroit, but bring back the old rules,
way.
man.
Absolutely. Just bring back the old onside kick.
Yes,
Do it
please.
whenever you want. Remember, Sean Payton won a Super Bowl with the onside kick
In Miami.
to start the third freaking quarter against the Colts. That's the way. That's football. Do it when you want. Surprise element. None of this crap
Is
that the
Peyton
NFL's
overrated?
doing now. Pardon?
Is Peyton Manning overrated?
No.
I've often.
It's a good question though.
Yeah,
Because for 10 years of his career, that was the question.
He got his one Super Bowl came off a Cinderella team in the Bears. We all know what that situation was.
He beat Rex Grossman.
No, he did exactly. That's what I mean. But that was his most important one. The second one, did he? He didn't get a second one.
Elway didn't. Yeah,
They got a
with the
second one in
Broncos.
Denver, but Brock Osweiler won that one.
But then he had that Super Bowl.
Brock
with
Osweiler won that one.
Yeah,
No doubt.
and then he had that Super Bowl against the Seahawks
Seattle.
where he got absolutely obliterated
Started
from the
the game
start
with a
of the
safety.
game. So yeah, I don't.
He is not big game Manning. We know that.
Yeah.
His body of work is very impressive. But you know, John Elway had the same deal. Could never win the big one, and then he went out on top twice for his final 2 years. You know.
You know what happened with John Elway saved his career is just coaching.
Well, look at
Terrell
look at
Davis
Stafford.
saved his career.
Stafford wasn't a Hall of Famer
coaching
until he got a
offensive
ring.
coordinator. You said what?
I'm
Stafford.
sorry. Stafford didn't get a, you know, the debate, why is this guy considered a great quarterback? He's not even top 12. Now he's a shoe-in first ballot Hall of Famer because of one late career championship.
Hey, Rando Smalls, $5. Thanks, Rando. With our team, I would do it every time, even to start the game.
He's not lying. Like it's something like I've seen Dan Campbell go from there anyway.
Yeah.
Now you're talking. That's not a bad thing to have in your pocket if they start to implement that. Teams like the Lions, teams like the Buffalo Bills, the Rams, they definitely have success on plays like that more than other teams.
Shout out Spenmo Rax in the building. He's about to take over here in an hour with the heavyweights.
Oh, look in the TD booth. Ladies and gentlemen, look in the TD booth.
Got a peek.
Why you do that to her, Bray? She on the
Lady
spot.
Maria on the microphone.
Maria.
What's going on?
Oh,
that's on you. That's on KG. That's on KG.
Hi, Maria.
All right, you good now?
KG got nervous over there.
Happy birthday to our man of the heavyweights, Chris Platty.
Happy
The
birthday,
baseball
big guy.
savant. Happy birthday, Chris.
Have you guys noticed something the last couple episodes? Look what time it is.
Oh, God, we're late.
Going to 4 o'clock, baby.
Come
on, man.
You got to get the people what they want.
I got places
That's why
to be,
Spidey
bro.
comes in. We're usually done.
You can't start with one model and then switch to a new model.
We going to 4 o'clock, baby. This is how you do it. Answer, man. It's always a pleasure. Like I looked up, it's 4 o'clock.
Listen, the show flies when I work with you guys. I love it.
Yeah, appreciate you guys,
Thanks
man.
for coming in, bro.
Holiday season, man. People out there,
Holiday
family,
season.
man. You got a family here with Woodward Sports, man. You come, you tune in, man. Got the heavyweights coming up from 5 to 7. Check those guys out. This is it, man. We provide a family, and we appreciate you guys for growing the network. Dante151, we appreciate you. Had to show you some love today. For my man P. Spivak, for KG, Tom Mazaway, Anson, and Maria. We appreciate you guys, man. This is Woodward Sports Network. I'm Mighty Networks from Maz. We'll see you mañana.
See you guys.